Real talk, I've shot over 100 hours on this Xtra Atto camera and it's become a regular in my daily bag. But there are 4 things that I wish I knew about this camera before I bought it. Most people will be using this camera for POV shots, and so I don't see that everyone will be using an external mic. But if you do use an external mic, you have to be aware of this. Pairing the mics is fine, and the way that it works with the camera is perfect. It's seamless. It's just like I'm using one of my own DJI cameras. But the one thing that I don't like is that you lose the live view on the vision dock. So now that it's paired, let's say I separate this, right? So let's start recording. Ah, look at that, man. Wireless microphone connected, no video output. Attach this vision dock to the camera to view. So yeah, it works when you have it connected, but if you were not connected, you no longer get that live view function, which I'm not really happy about. But hopefully a firmware update fixes this in the future. One of the big pros to this camera is separating the camera from the vision dock so you could put it in places that you normally wouldn't put other action cameras. If you're using this camera for POV shots and you're just kind of doing a run and gun style of shooting, it's probably not going to affect you that much. But if you're trying to be cinematic or you're just trying to grab different angles that you normally wouldn't, you'll definitely want to be able to see the vision dock. Now, the second issue is something that the DJI Osmo Nano actually had a problem with until I had a firmware update where it supposedly got better, and that's overheating. So when I was actually shooting my last video where I go over all the pros and the things that I did like about the Atto, I was doing a talking head style video where I connected the Atto straight up to a mic. Now here I was indoors and I was shooting, recording, stopping the recording, and on and off for about 12 minutes, and suddenly the device overheated. So after seeing this overheat, I decided I need to run a test on it. So some things to note though, when it did overheat, I was shooting indoors and I was in a not well ventilated area because I have shot outdoors for long periods of time and I never had that issue. So who knows how much the outdoor external conditions were affecting it. But I did run another test indoors in the same conditions where it did overheat. And one thing I did do different was just let the recording go straight up instead of stopping and saving and stopping and recording. Now, when I did it this way, the Atto actually didn't overheat. It actually shot up to 20 minutes straight. And I just stopped recording there because I figured there was really no reason to keep going. What this told me was that the Atto is fine as long as you're shooting one continuous long clip. But if you're shooting a clip, stopping it, recording it, it's writing to its internal drive, and that's what's probably making it overheat. So that's something to keep in mind, because if you're someone who's going to be shooting multiple clips back to back to back, it's possible that this device could overheat on you. So if you didn't know, the way that the Atto stores its footage is to its internal memory before it gets over to the micro SD. You actually have to do that manually. Now, I know this might just be an inconvenience to some people, but if you're shooting often, this could be an issue. So one time after a shoot, I transferred over about 25 gigs from the internal storage over to the memory card. And this took about 7 minutes. And it might not seem a lot, but if you're the type of creator who shoots in the morning and you want to be posting by lunchtime, man, every minute counts. Now, this last one, it actually won't affect all of you. In fact, it'll probably only affect some of you, mainly the people who want to see quote unquote cinematic footage. Because right now, the Xtra Atto has no ND filter support. If you're shooting outdoors like I am often and it's bright and you care about that cinematic motion blur look where it's smooth and you see footage that's similar to what your eyes would normally see, then this is going to bother you. Because what happens is the Atto is going to shoot and just jack up the shutter speed. In my opinion, you shouldn't really be using this camera to try to get cinematic footage. It's more of a POV camera or just get some very interesting angles type of camera. But if you are trying to get cinematic footage and you want to do some really cinematic vlogging, then having ND filters would be a big pro for you. And since they don't have them or any ND filters yet, it could be a downside. But for most people who are just doing casual shooting, you probably won't even notice this. All that being said, I do think the Xtra Atto is still a really good 4K wearable camera. It's super light, super convenient, and I actually made a whole video about the things I do like about it.